Retro Mondays.
Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to another Retro Monday, making old school and Mondays fun again. Today's review is none other than Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis, which released in 1991 thanks to Sonic Team. Just so we're clear, I did not have a Genesis growing up. When I was a kid, most families could only afford one system at a launch, but my next door neighbor had a Genesis and I got to watch him play this game a lot. Watch being the key word. Okay, moving on. In the early 90s, platforming games cornered the market, much like shooters do today. So to compete with the world's famous plumber, Sega created a fast-paced platformer and Sega's flagship series was born, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now the game's story pits good versus evil and has the crazed Dr. Ivo Robotnik invading Sonic's home and transforming his animal friends into badniks. So the Hedgehog follows the egg-looking man through 7 zones. At the very end of each zone, the Hedgehog will face off against the Malice Doctor. The gameplay is fast-paced and full of hazards. The further you get, the more traps await you. No worries though, the game uses a checkpoint system to ease your stress. Well, a little. What makes this platformer stand out from the others is Sonic the Hedgehog 1 is not a slow-moving game by any means. Yes, I'm aware I play this game a little slower than most of you Sonic fanboys. It didn't help that my wife was making fun of my gameplay footage either. Talk about hitting a guy when he's down. Since this is a platformer, Sonic can jump just like Mario, except a lot faster. By pressing down on the gamepad, Sonic will go into a roll and his speed increases significantly. The rings actually act as the coins for this game. Collecting 100 rings will earn Sonic an extra life. But their main purpose in this game is the hit detection system. In most games of this genre, after 2 hits the player's dead. While in Sonic's case, as long as you have a few rings on hand, you can survive just about anything, which is awesome. In fact, if you manage to find a shield power-up, that's 3 hits you can take before Sonic burns out. When things get too tough, find the invincibility power-up and avoid taking damage altogether. Well, for a little while. If you manage to collect 50 rings and finish the act intact, the special stage is open to you. Where the goal of the special stage is actually to obtain the Chaos Emerald. When you get all the emeralds, you earn the best ending in the game. Honestly, the stuff that I didn't like about this game isn't from a normal fan's perspective. Actually, I'm not a fan at all, so this makes this complicated. Let's start with something the fans will agree with on me though, the Labyrinth Zone. Up until now, the game has wowed gamers with its fast-paced action and gameplay. But here, however, the chink in the armor is revealed. Slowing down Mr. Attitude proves to be a slight gameplay flaw and makes avoiding taking damage and racing through the acts pretty challenging. Plus, unlike the other zones, the labyrinth is very long. The problem I have with this is players are reduced to having Sonic water walk, and to add insult to injury, have added an air timer too. While I do give them props for creative genius in the level design and changing up the gameplay, I wasn't a major fan of this spike scene. I can see why, even when this stage is mastered, it's not very fun to play at all. Out of all the boss battles in this game, I just didn't like this one. What I find funny is all the Sonic fans say that this is actually Dr. Robotnik's easiest boss battle. I don't agree. Mainly for all the traps you need to be aware of while chasing after Robotnik, if you don't turn into a hedgehog kebab first. Okay, now for the stuff that I didn't like as a kid. I hated the special stages, they just made me so dizzy. With Marble Zone's Act 3, I just couldn't take it. Not so much for the difficulty's sake, but all the blasted spikes. Sonic 1 just has way too many traps for my taste. There's something called overkill, Sega. My biggest gripe with this game is my memory over it. Other than the TV show, this game doesn't hold many happy memories for me. You can actually blame my next door neighbor for this. He kinda killed my interest with the Genesis Sonic games. Especially his reason for saying I couldn't play this game was it would be too hard for me. Yeah, hard for a kid that could beat Ninja Gaiden without using a Game Genie, unlike that punk. As a kid, I wouldn't say anything back, you know, be a good guest and all that stuff, but looking back at it, I should have grabbed the Genesis controller out of his hand and smacked him upside his head a few times. So yeah, if you wonder why I don't like many Genesis games like Toe Jam and Earl, Batman and Robin, Shay Khan, and others, it's because of my neighbor sucked all the fun out of them. This is why System Wars are stupid and lame, folks. It was immature back then, and it's way out of control now. So play what you like and don't bully people because of it. It doesn't make you cool, it makes you a jerk. Now that my PSA is over, let's talk about the stuff that I actually liked about this game. I really have to hand it to Sonic Team. They made one incredibly fun and addicting game. I love the fact that this game only uses one button. Genius! It's how you jump and attack. Simplified control mechanics easily attracted many platform gamers back then. The spin dash, while not an actual move until Sonic 2, Sonic's roll was pretty powerful in this game nonetheless, just as long as players didn't come out of the roll before hitting the enemy, that is. One thing that the 16-bit era had is both consoles had amazing music. Sonic 1 had some really catchy tunes. In fact, you heard the ones that I liked the most for this review. I have to give a very special thank you and shout out to Daniel for providing the epic metal cover of Green Hill Zone that you're hearing right now. Epic stuff, man. Now, I know that some of you probably remember Sega's slogan of Genesis does what Nintendo don't. While I don't enjoy mudslinging campaigns, I will admit Sonic's graphics and unique level design perked my interest and many others back then. Playing Super Mario Bros. Was a different kind of fun. Sonic, on the other hand, was like going to an amusement park and riding the roller coaster all day long. The levels had the blue blur doing loop-de-loops, running up inclined stages, and just watching a skilled player jet through this game was something I'd never seen before. The colors were very bright and the graphics as a whole were very detailed, and this was one amazing looking game. I was also really surprised over all the character expressions that Sonic had. He was like a moody teenager with some serious attitude, then as terrified as a kitten on the water slide. That stuff just really stuck out to me. Did you guys and gals actually know there's a level select code, and it is a godsend when you play this game? I mean, seriously, if there was ever a stage you wanted to go back and master it to death, then the stage selection was your ticket. So, does Sonic 1 have replay value? I would say yeah, it does. While I do find the special stages and some of the levels to be quite brutal or frustrating, the challenge to complete them and get the game's true ending was a very rewarding experience. It gets easier in the other games, but for this game it was pretty balanced and I like that. Playing the classic Sonic games have always been about the solid gameplay and presentation. While the 2D games are memorable and great, not every Sonic game that's released has been golden. However, it does seem that Sega is learning from their mistakes by giving us Sonic 4 and the soon-to-release Sonic Colors. Anyway, I would recommend you guys owning this game on your Wii's Virtual Console for 800 Wii points. You could also pick this up on the Sega Mega Collection for the GameCube and PS2, or there's even a Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection that released on the HD console. May Sonic's presence from the Genesis days bring you back with great memories, even if mine are tainted. Alrighty, that does it for another Monday Retro Review. Keep checking back every Monday to see another classic game review in the old school K-Wing style. In case you guys and gals didn't notice, I've actually retired the old intro for the StarTropics parody, and you'll actually be seeing this until sometime in December, where I have an even cooler intro in development. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all the new fans, and also tell them what's kind of going on, since some of you other people get me and understand this channel. So on this channel, you will get a video from me almost every weekday. From reviews, walkthroughs, let's play, current gen reviews, and so much more. Actually, speaking of upcoming reviews, this Friday is GoldenEye for the Wii on GotGame.com. That definitely does it for me, gamers. God bless and happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and until we meet again, gamers, gotta juice!